The mad skull's sheer momentum began to push Wu Jin back, but he expertly shifted his weight, shoving the beast to the side to redirect its charge. Drawing his broadsword, Wu Jin delivered a heavy swing, yet the blade failed to leave a mark. He thought he had gotten stronger, but the monster's raw power was still incredible. For a brief moment, Wu Jin let his guard down, and the beast seized the opening to charge. Just as the impact seemed inevitable, Wu Jin felt an unnatural lightness take hold of his body. He darted backward with ease, realizing that Claire had cast a supportive buff on him. The magical enhancement was transformative. It felt as though a heavy 30-kilogram rucksack had suddenly been lifted from his shoulders. With this newfound agility, Wu Jin was confident he could take the beast down using his own specialized tactics. Jonathan and his team rushed forward, offering to assist, but Wu Jin declined and ordered them to stay back. He explained that in his current state, it would actually be easier to hunt the creature alone. Leading the way, he lured the mad skull into a narrow passage within the quarry. Wu Jin knew the secret to defeating such a foe. Despite its terrifying name, the mad skull was essentially a giant pig. It could charge at high speeds in a straight line, but it struggled significantly with turning. As Wu Jin moved in a sharp zigzag pattern, the monster repeatedly slammed into the rocky walls of the passage. Finally, the beast lost its footing, crashing through a wall and sliding helplessly to the ground. Wu Jin marveled at the potency of Claire's magic as he prepared for the second step of his plan. The creature's tusks were as long as swords and acted like hands, but they were far too hard to be cut. Instead, Wu Jin aimed for its true weak point, the nose. He lashed out with his broadsword, drawing a scream of agony from the beast. As the mad skull began to rampage blindly from the pain, Wu Jin seized the moment. He rushed forward and delivered a final, decisive strike to ensure his prey wouldn't get another chance to attack. By the time Jonathan, Claire, and the rest of the mercenaries reached the scene, the area was a chaotic mess of debris and shattered stone. Jonathan was stunned by the destruction, but Claire's only priority was finding Wu Jin. As they moved to search for him, Mutt stepped forward with a low growl, causing them to freeze in their tracks. The wolf then let out a wide yawn, and Claire realized the creature was telling them not to interfere. Soon, Wu Jin emerged from the shadows. As he walked toward the group, he was consuming the monster's essence, a concentrated power he simply couldn't resist. When asked about the beast, Wu Jin calmly informed them that the mad skull was gone. All that remained was pork. Jonathan was speechless. He had never heard of a hunter taking down a mad skull entirely on their own. Suddenly, Mutt growled again, alerting the group to a second mad skull emerging from a passage. The mercenaries scrambled to prepare for another fight, but Claire stopped them. She pointed out that the creature was accompanied by piglets, and they all looked strangely mournful. Wu Jin and Mutt watched as the mother nudged her young, clearly preparing to lead them away from the quarry forever. Though Jonathan felt a small ounce of pity, he was relieved the encounter ended peacefully. Later that evening, the group gathered at a tavern in the 5th Pioneer City. Jonathan standing in front, congratulating everyone on a successful hunt with 0 serious injuries. He added that he can't express how happy he is that they finally caught a mad skull. Then came the moment everyone had been waiting for, the distribution of the reward. Claire was puzzled when she saw the overflowing pouches on the table. The bounty was supposed to be 70 gold coins, but there was clearly much more. Jonathan boasted that he had exaggerated the details to the Order Alliance. Since the mission had involved 2 mad skulls and their offspring, making it far more dangerous than advertised, he had demanded a higher payout. The Alliance had relented, awarding them a whopping 100 gold coins. The mercenaries roared with laughter as they toasted their leader. Wu Jin, however, remained skeptical. He leaned in and questioned Jonathan, pointing out the obvious. They hadn't actually fought the mother or the piglets, yet the Order Alliance had still handed over an increased reward. Jonathan met his gaze with a confident, mischievous grin. He admitted to Wu Jin that he had told a little white lie to the officials. The rest of the mercenary group erupted in laughter again, with one of them chiming in that as long as you aren't caught, a lie essentially becomes the truth. Wu Jin couldn't help but sigh and offer a small smile. These mercenaries were certainly an interesting bunch. Jonathan then turned to Wu Jin and made an announcement. He intended to give Wu Jin half of the total reward. Wu Jin was stunned, protesting that half was far too much. However, Jonathan insisted, stating that without Wu Jin's intervention, they all would have met a dog's death. The rest of the team loudly cheered in agreement. For Wu Jin, the experience changed his outlook. The effective trap and Claire's vital buff proved that he could rely on others. He realized that not everyone in this new world was untrustworthy. Raising his own mug, Wu Jin thanked the group and announced that the night's drinks were on him. The mercenaries cheered even louder, joking that they would make sure he spent every coin of his earnings before the sun came up. As the celebration grew rowdy, Wu Jin noticed Claire slipping out of the tavern. Wu Jin called out to ask where she was headed. Claire looked back and explained that she was going to practice her magic. Intrigued by the prospect of seeing how one actually trains magic, Wu Jin decided to follow her. Near a moonlit cliff, she sat in deep meditation, surrounded by a shimmering blue aura. Wu Jin watched from a distance, deeply impressed. Despite the exhaustion of the hunt, she was already back to her training. As he observed her, he began to wonder if he too should try to master the art of magic.